custodian of our rules, to guide Parliament whether the expiry of a term that actually occurred and people even left office, whether there was actually anything to extend, because they had already left office. And two, Madam Speaker, whether by your ruling, which the rules make it very difficult to challenge, Parliament now becomes responsible for this instrument.
My concern is in regard to paragraph 11AD, and I'll quote, that the minister may, with the prior approval of cabinet, extend, renew, reinstate, or validate the term of office of administrative units, administrative unit councils where it has become extremely difficult or impossible to conduct elections for administrative unit councils. The effect of this, Honourable Speaker, is the classical case of rule by law. And the phrase I'm quoting is whereby it has become extremely difficult or impossible. This, Honourable Speaker, may be used conveniently if you look at it. I don't know where the minister gets the feeling that it can be extremely difficult or impossible, and who determines extremely difficult and impossible. Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, this is going to be conveniently used at the whims of the government to inhibit the right to vote. To vote is so vital that any provision that seeks to inhibit its exercise must be clear, precise, and concise. What would be, for example, the threshold of whether it is extremely difficult or impossible? Who determines that threshold of extremely difficult or impossible? So that we are able to determine it. That the minister sits and says it's now extremely difficult and it's impossible. Honourable Speaker. So he brings an instrument and we ratify because it's extremely difficult and impossible. Honourable Speaker, the words and the phrase extremely difficult or impossible connote many meanings. It renders it prone to abuse and misuse. What is the purpose of this instrument? Government is on record stating that they did not sufficient budget for local government elections, and therefore there are no funds for these activities at the moment. In our view, this does not call for amendment of the law to give government an open road or excuses. If they are genuine in what they are currently, that they lack funds currently, we may allow time to mobilize funds to hold elections as provided under the law. This is a question of poor planning and does not call for amendment of the law to include a ground for always covering up a messed up budgeting process.
You remember he's the one who removed the age limit? He likes making people cry. Now he has come to say, now we extend LCs.